Fellas, when you're a coach and you already are facing this, and some of you younger guys, I hope you remember this story. How's that? You are a very strong influence on your people, your young kids, and so on. You're going to write a lot of recommendations, and your name's going to be used on a lot of resumes. Now, I got a story for you. It's around the year 2000 or something. And a guy who was the assistant coach at the University of Notre Dame, who was recruiting our area, and our tight end, he worked with, I probably recruited, worked with, went on to be captain at Notre Dame. Well, this assistant coach named Urban Meyer was there, okay? And got to know him. He'd come in, and so anyway, he gives me a call and said, hey, Coach, would you mind if I put your name down as a recommendation? I need a high school guy. That's sure. Urban, please do. Okay. So let's admit it, 9 out of 10 times, nobody ever calls you about that, or nobody gets a hold of you. Well, this time it did. I get this phone call, this is the truth, and it's the athletic director at Bowling Green University. And he said, Chuck, could I talk to you for a couple minutes? I said, sure. Coach, we're down to 2 guys, but really I'm down to 1, and I've got to ask you a couple questions. Right, fire away. Now, Urban Meyer, he recruited your area. First question, is he a good recruiter? And I said, he's very good. And how did I know that? Well, back then you had DVDs, okay? Now, some of you don't even know what those are. We had DVDs. And you know what? You'd hand those out and pass those out. And I said, I guarantee you he's a very good high school recruiter, because when he calls me back about a kid, I know he watched that DVD, because he'd tell me what the kid did right and what the kid needs to work on and so on. And I respected that. So I told the AD, yeah, I told him that story. The second question, Coach, what do you think about his coaching? Now, all I knew at that point, I met him here when he was a graduate assistant, but what I'd seen of him, he was running the offense, really, as far as I saw. And Danny O'Leary, the captain of Notre Dame, said so. And he's got a great offensive mind. And he would be a guy that would come in to recruit, and he'd get the names, but he'd stay that extra half hour to diagram things that he has, and great stuff that we used. And I knew yes. I said to the AD, look, I know him as an offensive coach, and he's got a great offensive mind, and he's very impressive. And the guy said to me this, and this is the truth. He goes, Coach, we're going to hire him as the head coach of Bowling Green. And here's the story. The previous coach, great guy, but he was a defensive guy. And he goes, Coach, we'd win games 7-3. 10-7. And he goes, that was nice. But you know what? Crowds don't come to see 10-3. They want excitement in the stadium. And I said, well, honestly, yeah, this is why I told him, look, this guy's going to have an exciting offense. And I'll tell you what, if you don't take him as a head coach, I'm going to tell you, somebody will. Because, folks, you know this guy, don't you, by now? He's a head coach, isn't he? And he was that type of guy as a younger, but you could see it coming, right? So my point to you is, you are going to write a lot of resumes, and your name's going to be on a lot of recommendations. Little do you know what can happen for that young man, that assistant coach on a team that you play against that asks you for a recommendation. Do them, because amazing things can happen, believe me. Now,